Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So in front of us is the last year for the 6th generation Ford Mustang. This is a 2023 GT Coupe, finished off in Oxford white, and we'll go over the MSRP once we go over all the specs and features and get this classic, iconic muscle car out on the road. So let's start off with what powers this. It has a 5-liter naturally aspirated V8. This model is paired to the 6-speed manual transmission, and it pumps out 450 horsepower, 410 pound-feet of torque, sent to those rear wheels, propelling this 3,700-pound coupe from 0 to 60 in just over 4 seconds with a top speed of 168 miles an hour. Now, as we work our way to the exterior styling, the Mustang really hasn't changed at all over the last few years. So we still have a great design, I would say, before the 7th generation comes out. For this particular model, the entire grille is finished off in gloss black. It has that narrow and wide appearance with several cutouts in that mesh. It has the LED headlights, DRLs, and turn signals with the classic 3-bar design for those DRLs. And then there's also another air inlet underneath the turn signals. There's a front splitter for this model, and then some nice lines in the hood with those heat extraction vents on both sides. So it just gives it a classic look for this Mustang. It'll be interesting to see the 7th generation when that hits lots. Now for this model, it has the 19-inch wheels. They are 8.5 inches wide up front, 8.5 in the rear as well, finished off in gloss black. This has 4-piston brake calipers in all 4 corners. And then you will notice that trim piece in the lower side skirt matches nicely with the front trim, so it blends it in. 5.0 badge is blacked out, as well as the side mirrors and the entire roof. All the window trim is blacked out, so you can see the theme going for this particular model. Really nice lines that run down the side. You'll see one at the height of the door handles and the lower side skirt there, and then it makes its way to the rear corner, where you'll notice this has more gloss black for the trunk mounted spoiler, more gloss black in between the LED taillights, so it encases those from side to side. GT badge, backup camera, and then this also has the sequential turn signal design. The housings have that 3D dimensional shape to them, which is very nice to see. All the backup sensors are in the lower section. This has the active quad tip dual exhaust, some fins in that lower diffuser there, and then the reverse light as well. So it gives it that added aggressive look from the rear, which is nice to see. Now, making your way to the cargo space, you can use the button on the key fob or the one just underneath there. And for the size of this car, it actually has a good amount of space. So this makes it a lot more practical if it's your only vehicle. You can fold down the back seats. You even get a spare tire. I know a lot of people are concerned with sports cars not having a spare. You get one with this Mustang. So you can definitely fit a lot of items in the back of this car. Now, as we work our way to the interior, you can lock and unlock this using the door handle, where this model has leather on the armrest. There's all the stitching, some brushed aluminum accents, a little bit of storage, and then all the window controls and side mirror adjustments. You will see Mustang down on the door sill, and then cloth for the entire interior. Mustang is spelled out right in the middle, and these have a combination of being automatic seats and being manual adjusting seats. So you have the power operation to slide it forwards and backwards. And at 5'10", you're really not buying a Mustang to be a full 4-seater. You can see virtually no legroom on that one side. So if I had to ride around town just for a short amount of time, it's definitely doable, but you're really using these for extra interior storage or that additional person if and when you need to use that. So from there, we can slide the seat back manually and then automatically put it back into that position. And then look at this steering wheel. It's finished off in solid leather. We have cruise control settings on this left side, along with volume and tuning. On the right side, you'll see a Bluetooth and voice commands, and then all of these are for the gauge cluster. So with my foot on the brake and the clutch, let's fire this up. And as we look at the gauge cluster, you will see the tach and the engine temperature on that left side, miles per hour and the fuel level are on that right side. And then if I go into your settings now, you can go through the different exhaust notes. This does have a quiet startup, which is nice to see, along with normal, sport, and track. Check out the full detailed review to hear the sound differences between all of those. You can even go to the driver assistance, go through all of these tech features depending on what you would like. There's the track apps. You can go into the lap timer, a line lock as well, look at your brake performance, your acceleration timer. You even have trip and fuel, and then the gauge mode here, where you have some more vitals to scroll through, just depending on what you would like to see. So it's really nice to have that. There's also more of that brush trim on the steering wheel to give it a great look in the lower section too. Now on this left side, there's all the headlight adjustments. And then right in the middle, we have 3 air vents. You have the 8-inch screen underneath it that is unchanged from previous models. If I click on home, you can see we have the split screen with music, compass, and your phone when you have that paired. And then all the presets are underneath that. So that way you can quickly get to all this information and set it up the way that you would like to. Not a ton of info, but it gives you what you need. Now volume and tuning are just underneath that, along with some power controls right in the middle. You can go through some additional settings for the audio as well. And then there's physical buttons for all the climate adjustments. So if you're not on that upper screen, you can quickly get through all of this and set it up the way that you would like to. And then there's a nice row of toggles next to the engine start stop. There's the hazards, traction control, a few different settings for the steering wheel. You can see comfort, normal, and sport. And then there's also different driving modes for the actual car. You can see normal, sport plus, there's track. You can even go into a drag, and then snow and wet. So it makes it a lot more versatile to drive this. Of course, in the snow, you would need some snow tires, but you can use that setting too. There's some auxiliaries, a little bit of space in front of this 6-speed manual shifter. So with it in reverse, you get 2 different angles, just depending on what you would like to see. And then we have the rest of the 6 gears with what I will call a short throw shifter. It's very notchy and quick in those, which you will see once we get this out on the road. Now behind that still has the manual parking brake, 2 cup holders, a little bit of storage in the center armrest with some auxiliaries that you can use. And then there's more storage in the glove box and the Mustang badge just above that. We'll take a look at visibility now. Very small pillar there, which makes it easy to see in both directions, even over this left shoulder. And then up top, you'll notice the dome lights on both sides. And from second gear, here we go. Definitely has a good exhaust note to it in track mode. And if you want to go into quiet mode, for whatever reason, you have the option to do that, which I really like. For under 50 grand, you're getting a pretty well-rounded muscle car. It sounds good. You have the practicality to put in some other people. You can drive this every day. It's a really comfortable sports car to drive, especially for this GT model with the suspension setup that it has. It's quiet too. You can hear that exhaust. If I want to go to quiet for the exhaust, now it's kind of just like driving a normal vehicle. So it's pretty cool that you have those settings depending on how you want to drive this. You can feel the steering input when I put it into sport mode versus comfort or normal. Definitely gets a little bit stiffer. I'm on a straight road right now, but for the driving that I've been doing, I can feel a slight difference. You would feel more of that out on the track, of course. And it's really easy to drive. It's fun to drive too. Not a lot of materials in this interior for this model. We have the cloth seats, some nice trim accents here. So of course you can up your budget just depending on what you are looking to get. But for under 50 grand, I think you do get a pretty nice interior with what you need. And it definitely has active rev matching. I can definitely feel that as I come to the downshifts there. But aside from that, we have plenty of visibility. It's very open feeling for this compact two-door vehicle. It's surprisingly open on the interior, which is nice to see. And we are going to make one quick UE here. So with the manual transmission, it's pretty easy to go through these gears. So it makes even doing a 3-point turn like this very quick and easy to do. So one last acceleration for today's video. And that is going to wrap it up for the last year 2023 Ford Mustang GT Coupe. Huge shout out to Mooresville Ford for providing this vehicle for me today. Check out their website. That link is down in the description below. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up. Consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I'll see you all in the next video.